Hi guys, it's me, Kelsey from Our Realistic Homeschool Life, and this is going to be part 2 of the curriculum that we have chosen for this year. So I'm going to go through, previous video I went through the Sunlight book, so if you want to see that, go ahead and look at the previous video that I did where I went through and what's all involved in the instructor's guides. But this video, I'm going to be going into the books that we were going to be using. So this year we are using Sunlight Level D. We have chosen to do Sunlight again this year. I said in the previous video of why I love Sunlight being a literature-based curriculum, that it's a one-stop shop that I can get everything that I need. And lastly, I love that the instructor's guides, obviously, why I had to do a whole video on it. But this video, I'm going to go into all the different books and everything that we will be learning this year. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. So for Bible this year, obviously, great one is just a regular Bible. So this year, Sunlight for Level D is we are doing a American Indian prayer guide, and we've already done the first week of this, and it has been amazing to be able to see our children pray specifically for other people. We have prayed for, prayer requests, and they pray every night. We pray together as a family, but it has been amazing to be able to pray for a specific people group, for the American Indians. And so we were praying for specific people groups that still do not know the Lord. And so it goes through each week of praying for a specific person, for specific people to come to know the Lord. So it has been amazing to see my children pray for people groups. Then also, this is our Bible that Titus is reading from. This has been amazing because it is a young reader's version, so an early reader's version. So it is a bigger print, but it also is a version that he can read. He will be able to read all of the words. I mean, I might need something like this especially in the Old Testament, but he is reading himself the word, and to see him read the word has been amazing. So that is what we're doing in Bible. We are also going to be memorizing different chapters, like the first chapter that we are reading. My son's laughing in the background. Our first one is going to be Psalm 8, and so we will be memorizing Psalm 8 for the first 6 weeks, and then after that we'll go on to a different chapter, which I love memorizing chapters versus just the verses, because it keeps it in context, and it's amazing to be able to have a whole chunk rather than just small pieces everywhere. So I really like that. So that's what we're doing in Bible this year. Then for math, we are doing, again, Horizons. We love, love, love Horizons so far. I've researched, I know probably all homeschool moms have thought, is there another one out there that maybe work better? It's working for us, but maybe there's something better. I have done that, but I keep coming back to Horizons, and every time I research, I love it. It's been great for my kids. We may change later if we get super curious, but we've done this for 3 years now, and we love it. And so Horizons comes with the teacher's guide, which, again, just like the instructor's guides with Sunlight, it will tell you not only what to do, but how to teach and each activity. Some people just go through the workbooks. I don't recommend that. I really like opening up to each lesson and being able to go over each individual thing, using the materials, and really being able to really dig down into each thing that we're teaching that time, rather than just going through the worksheets. Worksheets in Horizon, what I love about Horizon is they're colorful. It's not just black and white. It is colorful, it's engaging. Let me see if I can see, maybe, I don't know if I can't see any right now, any major word problems, but the word problems are very engaging. It's colorful, it's fun, they love it so far. So this is what we're going to be sticking with this year. So Horizons comes with the teacher's guide and 2 workbooks. So that is math this year. This is just math for my oldest. We bought more workbooks for my youngest, but we had already had the Horizons 1 teacher guides. We just had to buy the workbooks. Another reason why we are also sticking with Horizons, because I already have the teacher's guide. So this will be for my youngest, who's in 1st grade. So then we have history. So something that I have, all my books are about to fall. Oh no, here just a minute. Let me make sure that they don't fall. Sorry about that. All my books decided that they wanted to fall into the floor. It's a big pile. So anyway, for history, something that I have failed in the past is the timeline book. I just didn't, for some reason, I don't know why, I just didn't realize how awesome it is to open up the book and be able to see throughout the years all the different people in the timeline book. Like, for instance, let's see, like we did Columbus, we were learning Columbus right now, and so we put this sticker in the timeline book. But as the years go on, I hope this will be filled. I really, really wish I had done it in the past. So any other Sunlighters who don't think it's important, I highly recommend doing it, because I feel like I missed out on being able to fill this. But anyway, so this is the timeline book that you get with your Sunlight. If you've already purchased it, you only have to purchase it one time. You don't need to get one for each individual year. But then you have all the dates, you have BC and AD, and you have little stickers. They come with your packet. This is in previous years, but I just keep them here for if we come across them again. Hopefully I can fill them in, or maybe I should just go ahead and just fill it in so they can see. But they like being able to put the sticker on. But you're in the history, it comes with the timeline figures, and you just cut them out and then you just stick it in there. But again, I'm going to try really hard this year to make sure that I fill this up for years to come, so they can have a timeline book for when they're learning throughout history. And then we have our history books. The first one we have is, I'll put these over to the side. The first one we have is The Beginner's American History. This has been surprisingly a really good book so far. So we're only in week 1, but this has been a really good book so far. This book was written in the 1800s, 1893, I believe. I don't know. Don't fact check me on that. I don't know. I believe. Yes, 1893. Yay, I remembered. But yes, this has been a great book so far. It goes through all the American history. With it being older, written in 1893, I am very pleasantly surprised so far in reading this. I come from the old school thinking that it just needs to be new, but this has been really great. We've loved it so far. Then we have the Children's Encyclopedia of American History, which of course is awesome. DK Books, I love them. We've read almost every Star Wars one that they have, but they are really, really good at engaging picture. Like the way it's illustrated and the pictures, it's just so engaging. With the first one that we did, automatically when we opened it, they asked questions. they immediately, because it's not just words on a page, it's the pictures, it's the pretty pictures, and so they immediately ask questions. What's this? What's that? And so it's just, we love DK books. They're awesome. So anytime I see that in a curriculum, I get excited. Oh, sorry. The next one is the Landmark History of American People. We haven't gotten into this one yet, but it looks really good. Again, it has the pictures to be really engaging, asking questions and conversations. Plan on having many, many, many of those. So it looks great. Then we have North American Indians, which is just a smaller book. Again, very well illustrated to be able to engage in questions. And then if you were there when you signed the Constitution, that is our last, actually no, it's not the last one, but that's the next history book. Should be fun. And then Lewis and Clark Expedition. It's another one. This one's more of it's part of the history, but it seems like it's more of a read aloud, but it's part of the history book list. So, but looks great. Next, we have the readers. So something that I learned with Sunlight is you have readers and read alouds. I was kind of confused first when I first got into Sunlight and how that worked. So your readers are the ones that your children read, and then the read alouds are the ones that you read aloud. I don't know why I was confused, but I've heard other people were confused too, so I don't feel that bad. So the first one that we're currently reading is The Pocahontas and the Strangers. It's really good. So this is something that he is reading. Then he'll read Squanto, Friend of the Pilgrims. So it's really good. Again, why I love this curriculum, because they read all of these books. This is a smaller one. He'll probably read this super quick. Another really, really pretty illustrated book. Illustrations grab me just like children. I love it when a book is illustrated so well. Looks like another great book he'll read. Here's another one, The Skip Peck School. Another one he will read, Phoebe the Spy. Here's some more of all the books that he will be reading this year by himself. Now, readers, he will either read aloud to his brother, or we'll all sit around and he'll read to me, or something new this year, which I don't know if we're going to continue out throughout the year, that he's reading by himself. It's something that he is been doing. He's been reading by himself in his room, or he's been reading in his head on the couch. So it's kind of hard for me to let go of him reading by himself and worry that he's going to get every single word right. But he's getting the comprehension questions right. So I'm not too worried, but we'll see how the year goes on. There may be an update on that. So then next is the read alouds. First is this poetry book. So poetry, we do on Fridays. They have it scheduled throughout the week. I save all the poetry for the end of the week. There's a lot of homeschoolers that I had been listening to, reading, that talked about poetry tea time, which I have 2 boys, so the thought of a tea party to them was not that, at first was not that great, but then I told them that I was making muffins and they were a-okay with that. So they could have a treat while reading the poetry. So this is the poetry book. I haven't really gotten into all of this, but it looks great. But the thing about this poetry book, I don't know if I'm going to be using it all that much because we do the poetry tea time or poetry treat time. This one has a CD that comes with it that has that is read by professional actors. So it could be great. it could be a time saver for me when I'm stuck and I can't do the poetry tea time or treat time, and so then that could possibly save me some time. And so it has the poetry, very beautifully illustrated, which of course grabs my attention, which I love. So that'll be poetry. I love poetry because the rhyming and teaching them rhythm and everything. Then all the other read alouds. So read alouds have been a touch and go with me in Sunlight. So I have to be honest, I have not read all of the read alouds in every single curriculum that we've done each year. Read alouds, I tend to get behind, which I am kind of embarrassed to say, but a lot of other Sunlight parents have gotten left behind, get behind in their read alouds. But this year I'm really going to try to make sure that I follow it every day, and if not, because we school year round, I might save the last 2 or 3 for the summer reading aloud, so it can go into the summer. Though we school year round, it could be just a backup. So these are the different read alouds. These are the ones that I read to them at the end of the day or at lunch or just sometime throughout the day. These are the books that we will be reading this year. Again, Sunlight is a reading-based or literature-based curriculum, and there's so much research about reading aloud to your children, which is why I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I have not done it so completely well, but in the past. But reading aloud to your children, even up until like 5th, 6th, or even 7th grade, is so important. It helps them become more literate. There's a ton of research. I'm not going to go into all of it because there are thousands of blogs that you can research on it about how reading aloud to your child is just so important. So those are the different read alouds that we're doing this year. And then so this year we're having a whole new, that was my son opening the door. So that was that noise. But this is the spelling that we are doing this year. And so we're doing this, this is the first time we've done an actual spelling program. So in level D, you have a separate program. In previous levels or cores, if you're old school Sunlight, it has had spelling incorporated in the actual language arts program. But this is going to be a separate one, which is really cool, actually, that it goes with our history, Americana. So it goes with our history. So it has the instructor's handbook, which is tiny. I was like, what? This is all you have for me to teach spelling? But it was pretty much self-explanatory as I went on. And then it has the workbooks. So each one in Spelling UC has 5 days, and each one you read the story and then you have copy work. And I set a timer for like 5 or 10 minutes, and whatever he gets done is what he gets done, because I am not going to push too hard to where he hates it. So then it has the same thing. So it has the first part of the story, then it has the second part, and you copy work. And then the third, you do the same thing, is copy work. Then on the 4th day, you have dictation. And so I will be reading this to him after he's written it 3 times. So, and then he will be writing it he will be writing it by himself when he's listening to me. So I'll be dictating it and he'll be reading and he'll be writing. And it's the same thing for that day. So it's really awesome to see that it's not like a list of spelling words. It goes through like vowel chunks and then the consonant chunks. I know how to talk. The bossy R chunks, and it goes through everything. And what they do is they mark the vowel chunks, the consonant chunks, and the bossy R chunks. Like in this one, they will go through and mark it blue, purple, or yellow. So it teaches spelling without having the spelling list of the boring, like, hey, write this word. You need to memorize it. Write this word. You need to memorize it. Basically, it's really interesting to be able to teach spelling this way. So I'm really excited to see how this works in this year. Then comes Last Science, which is my children's favorite subject, which is why we always end the day in science. So in science this year, it came with 2 DVDs. The Incredible Creatures That Defy Evolution, which is interesting. Be great to be able, I love DVDs. My kids are visual learners, so I use videos all the time in my school, because I mean, y'all all remember in school, videos, when that TV was in the classroom, it was amazing. So I try to incorporate that in our school as much as we can, so TV can be a little educational, sneaky. And then we have the the Discover and Do Level 3. So each year we have had this DVD, which goes through all the science experiments. And so I'll open this up. So this has all the science experiments and shows them how you do it on the DVD. And so as a person who is not really good at thinking of a science experiment or trying to find a science experiment or even executing the science experiment, this is great to be able to tell you how to do it. They're really simple. They're not mind-blowing, but they're cool. For my science kids, they love it. So it's been amazing. I have also in previous years, just like the read alouds, I haven't been great about doing a science experiment every day. So we switched over to a 4-day program. So the 5th day is saved for fun things like the poetry and the science experiments and everything. So Fridays are fun days to do things extra or even catch up. But this is when we'll be doing this on Fridays. And so lastly, the books. So this, I'm going to show individual because this is just, these are amazing. So we are doing biology this year and physics. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but I'll go through the books. So we got biology this year. This has been amazing so far. Again, it is beautifully illustrated, capturing their attention and everything. And so it's been great so far. It's simple, really, really simple, but fun. Then we have Usborne Mysteries and Marvels of Nature. So I pretty much, if most of you, if not all of you, probably know Usborne, and if you don't, go look on the Usborne books are amazing. I've been part of many parties on Facebook and everything, but their books are so pretty and they're internet linked. Again, videos are so involved in our homeschool, so we use the internet links all the time. And so Usborne is also very beautifully illustrated. It's amazing. I love this stuff because you open up the page, say we're learning, let's see, like this, insects attack. Like seriously, my boys have so many questions when they see these things just from the pictures. Like before we even get into what it is actually talking about, they have so many questions even just about the pictures. So very engaging, lots of conversations that happen from Usborne books. Then we have these 2 Green Thumb activity sheets. We are going to be growing plants this year, which I hope we can do because I do not have a green thumb. So hopefully this will help me. I have killed so many plants, you guys. It's so bad. So this will go through on how we are going to grow them, and it looks pretty fun. I'm interested to see. I'm keeping an open mind to see if it will work. Because again, I have killed so many plants. So hopefully this will help us. And then lastly, we have the Magic School Bus, which everybody loves the Magic School Bus. Inside the human body. We go through these really quick because in Sunlight, they'll tell you to only read like 2 to 3 pages. My kids cannot just read 2 to 3 pages. So we will go through this book very fast and then probably go over it again and reference it and then go to the library and get more books because my kids can't just spend 2 to 3 pages on a book and then be done, especially a book like this. So that is everything that we will be doing this year. I hope you enjoyed it. I am looking forward to this year. It is going to be so much fun. And so I'll have more videos of what we're doing each week, science experiments and all that kind of stuff. So tune in for level D stuff and other fun homeschool things. So yeah, that was great. I hope you enjoyed watching it. See ya.